यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी असत्यादिशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की श्री पावन शिला प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Studying from Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20th, entitled as Lord Vishnu's Appearance in the Sacrificial Arena. Text number 26. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Panch Prabhupada ki jai. Yasa Sivam Susruva Arya Sangame Yadikchaya Chopasrinoti Te Sakrit Katham Gunagyo Virameda Vinapasu Shri Yat Pravavre Guna Sangrahechaya. Yasa Sivam Susrava Arya Sangame Yadikchaya Chopashinoti Te Sakrit Katham Guragyo Viramed Vina Pasu Shriyat Prabhave Gura Sangrehe Kshaya. Yasa Sivam Susrava Arya Sangame Yadikchaya Chopashinoti Te Sakrit Katham Gunagyo Vibrameda Vinapasu Shriyat Pravapre Guna Sangrihechaya. Yasa Sivam Susrava Arya Sangame Yadikchaya Chopasrinoti Te Sakrit Katham Gunagyo Virameda Vinapasu Shriyat Pravavre Guna Sangrihechaya. यसा शिवं शुश्रव आर्य संगमे यदीक्षया चोपशिनोति ते सक्रे कथं गुणज्ञो विरमेद विना पशु श्रेयप्रबद्धे गुणसंग्रहे क्षया यसा शिवं शुश्रव आर्य संगमे यदीक्षया चोपशिनोति ते सक्रे कथं गुणज्ञो विरमेद विना पशु यत्प्रबद्धे गुणसंग्रहे क्षया यसा शिवं शुश्रव आर्य संगमे यदीक्षया चोपशिनोति ते सकृत् कथं गुणज्ञो विरमेद विना पशु यत्प्रबद्धे गुणसंग्रहे क्षया यसा शिवं शुश्रव आर्य संगमे यदीक्षया चोपशिनोति ते सकृत् कथं गुणज्ञो विरमेद विना पशु यत्प्रबद्धे गुणसंग्रहे क्षया यसा शिवं शुश्रव आर्य संगमे यदीक्षया चोपशिनोति ते सकृत् कथं गुणज्ञो विरमेद विना पशु यत्प्रबद्धे गुणसंग्रहे क्षया यसा शिवं शुश्रव आर्य संगमे यदीक्षया चोपशिनोति ते सकृत् कथं गुणज्ञो विरमेद विना पशु यत्प्रबद्धे गुणसंग्रहे क्षया. What forward meaning? Yasaha, glorification. Shivam, all auspicious. Susravaha, O highly glorified. Lord. Arya Sangame, in the association of advanced devotees. Yadikshaya, somehow or other. Cha, also. Upashrinoti, hears. Te, your. Sakrit, even once. Katham, how. Gunagya, one who appreciates good qualities. Virameta, can cease. Vina, unless. Pasum, an animal. Sri, the goddess of fortune. Yat, which. Pravavre, accepted. Guna, your qualities. Sangra, with a desire. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. My dear, highly glorified Lord, if one, in the association of your devotees, hears even once the glories of your activities, he does not, unless he is nothing but an animal, give up the association of devotees, for no intelligent person would be so careless as to leave the association. The perfection of chanting and hearing about your glories was accepted even by the goddess of fortune, who desired to hear of your unlimited activities and transcendental glories. Translation once again. My dear highly glorified Lord, if one in the association of pure devotees hear even once the glories of your activities, he does not, unless he is nothing but an animal, give up the association of devotees. For no intelligent person would be so careless as to leave the association. The perfection of chanting and hearing about your glories was accepted even by the goddess of fortune, who desired to hear of your unlimited activities and transcendental glories. Om Tat Sat. Purport. The association of devotees, Arya Sangama, is the most important factor in this world. The word Arya refers to those who are advancing spiritually. In the history of the human race, the Aryan family is considered to be the most elevated community in the world because it adopts the Vedic civilization. The Aryan family is distributed all over the world and is known as Indo-Aryan. In prehistoric days, all of the members of Aryan family followed the Vedic principles and therefore they became spiritually advanced. The kings known as Rajrasis were so perfectly educated as Kshatriya or protectors of the citizens and so greatly advanced in spiritual life that there was not a bit of trouble for the citizens. The glorification of the Supreme Lord can be very much appreciated by the Aryan family. Although there is no bar for others, the members of Aryan family very quickly catch the essence of spiritual life. How is that? How is it that we are finding it very easy to spread Krishna consciousness among the Europeans and Americans? Question mark. History reports that the Americans and Europeans proved their capability when they were anxious to expand colonization. But at the present time, being contaminated by the advancement of material science, their sons and grandsons are turning into reprobates. This is due to their having lost their original spiritual culture, which is the Vedic civilization. Presently, these descendants of the Aryan family are taking this Krishna consciousness movement very seriously. Others who are associating with them and hearing the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra from the lips of pure devotees are also becoming captivated by a transcendental vibration. Transcendental vibrations are very much effective when chanted among Aryans. But even though one does not belong to the Aryan family, he will become a Vaishnava simply by hearing the mantra because the vibration has great influence over everyone. Maharaja Prithu points out that even the goddess of fortune, who is the constant companion of Lord Narayana, specifically wanted to hear about the Lord's glories and for the association of the gopis who are pure devotees, the goddess of fortune Lakshmi underwent severe austerities. The impersonalist may ask why one should bother chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra continually for so many years instead of stopping and trying for Kaivalya, liberation, or merging into existence of the Lord. In answer, Maharaj Prithu maintains that the attraction of this chanting is so great that one cannot give up the process unless he is an animal. This is the case even this is the case even if one comes in contact with this transcendental vibration by chance. Prithu Maharaj is very emphatic in this connection. Only an animal can give up the practice of chanting Hare Krishna. Those who are not animals but actually intelligent, advanced, human civilized men cannot give up this practice of continually chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घ्यायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् So, in this verses, we are seeing that Prithu Maharaj, who is the Saktyaves Avatara, empowered incarnation of the Lord, is stressing about uh, performing devotional service in the association of devotees. The previous verse also we saw that he was saying that hearing the glories of the Lord in association of devotees. It says that when the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust of the lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the values of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of pure devotees. The previous verse is telling, my dear Lord, I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence, a benediction in which there is no existence of the nectarian beverage of the lotus feet. I want the benediction of at least 1 million years. For that, I may be able to hear about the glories of the lotus feet from the mouths of your pure devotees. So, in this verse, also is stressing about the association of devotees. My dear highly glorified Lord, if one in the association of pure devotees hears even once the glories of your activities, he does not unless he is nothing but an animal, gives up the association of devotees, for no intelligent person would be so careless as to leave the association. The perfection of the chanting and hearing about your glories was accepted even by the goddess of fortune, who desire to hear of your unlimited activities and transcendental glories. So it is highly stressed about the association of devotees, performing devotional service in the association of devotees, and especially about hearing the glories of the Lord, hearing the holy name of the Lord in the association of devotees. Why it is so much glorified? Prabhu, why it is so much glorified, association of devotees? In association of devotees, very quickly we develop Krishna consciousness. Anyone here is something more? Why association of devotees are so much stressed by Pithu Maharaj, and consistently so several verses he is telling the Lord is there in front of him. He can go along with the Lord back to Godhead. The Lord is asking, wants to give him, award him everything, but he is just stressing again and again and again that I don't want any benediction, just want association of pure devotees. And he's telling that who would like to leave the association of pure devotees unless he is an animal? So why this association devotee is so much stress? Yeah. By association of devotees, we are protected from any incidental or fall down. Anything more? Even the Lord is attracted when the glories, his glories are discussed among pure devotees. You know this pastime. There were think Alvars, they were hearing it was raining, and then I forgot the name, but he was standing on the way to another Alvar came. And since both of them they are there, when two devotees get together, what they are going to do? When two businessmen are there, they will immediately talk about business. Hmm? Immediately they will talk how to make money. I have noticed that they immediately talk about this, how what can be purchased, what can be sold. They'll talk. Incidentally, they will talk. Similarly, the devotees, when they're meeting together, is inspired to speak about Krishna and is to hear about Krishna from each other. So then these two great devotees, they were standing on the corner because there was some shade, and they immediately were talking about Krishna. And then uh, it was raining very heavily. So actually they sat down and they were discussing. So another great devotee came, and then he asked, "Can I also join?" Especially because it is raining and they are discussing about Krishna. Hmm? So then they said, "Oh, there is enough space for two people to sit down and three people to stand." So they got up and they welcomed him. And then all these three then started discussing about glories of Lord Narayana. And they are discussing glories and they are describing, they are experiencing so much of pleasure that they are completely forgot the external world. Completely forgot the external world, that it is raining and all these things. And then after a long time, they noticed that there is one more person inside. And then only they found that the Lord Narayana himself is adjusting himself among that little space, which is just enough for three people to stand and two people to sit down. Uh, he also very eagerly wants to hear what they are talking. So this is so attractive when we holy name, the glories of the Lord is discussed among the devotees, that the Lord himself is captivated. Why the Lord is captivated? To hear his own glories. Why? Generally, we should not hear our own glories, but why Lord is captivated by hearing his own glories? Yeah. This shows that the glories, pastimes of the Lord and his devotees, it's not material, it's spiritual. It is transcendental. It's not under three modes. Huh? Something which is under the three modes which, may be abominable, but which is beyond the three modes, hmm, actually is always uh, purifying. Actually, for the Lord, there is no need of purification, but it attracts the Lord because it is in pure goodness, transcendental, divya. So that even the Lord is attracted. As we see that the Lord is attracted to suck his own toe, the Lord is attracted to hear his own glories, and there is a reciprocation. His devotees are enjoying so much that Lord also wants to experience what they are experiencing, and so much so that the Lord is incarnating himself, coming down, descending as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as his devotee, and chanting as his own names. Krishna Varnam Tisa Krishnam Sango Pangastu Parsatam Yagyan Sankirtan Praye Janti Sumedasa. So there again here in this verse also it is mentioned Sumedasa. Highly intelligent people will participate in this Sankirtan Yagya is started by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is appeared, is Krishna himself, but this time not black in color, it's different color, golden appearance. Uh, uh, and he is appeared along with his associates, confidential associates, and people who are very intelligent, not only intelligent, very intelligent. Sumedasa. Medasa means brilliant. Meda. And Sumedasa means even more than brilliant. Sumedasa, highly intelligent. Those people will participate in Harinam Sankirtana. And here it is said, just same thing in negative way it is said, that people who are but less than an animal, even for no intelligent person would be so careless as to leave the association unless he is nothing but an animal. In the opposite way, it is said that unless one is an animal, he will not leave the association of devotees. Because if we leave the association of devotees, what we are leaving? We also leaving the opportunity for having such discussions, having the opportunity to hear the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, transcendental names of the Lord. Then why animal lives? Because therefore is called animal, less intelligent. Prabhupada gives this example. They are herd of goats, and one goat is being cut, butchered by butcher, and all the goats will be busy eating grass. They may not be thinking that we are the next person. We may be the next person. Their intelligence is only on just immediate fulfillment of their senses. Nothing more than that. They are just occupied with that. Little grass they are eating, but they do not know they are going to be killed at next moment, and they are very happy about it. So unless one has such an intelligence, he will not quit the association of devotees and opportunities to hear the pastimes of the Lord, which captivates. We just saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself, the Rasaraj, the highest enjoyer of all transcendental rasas, he himself is attracted and he wants to taste this. And in this, it is mentioned that the goddess of fortune, whose kataksha, karuna kataksha, just mere a glance, is highly awaited by great devas. Everybody wants Lakshmiji's mercy. They are so sincerely praying, morning, evening, sincerely praying Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune. And that goddess of fortune is seeking after these opportunities where they can hear from the gopis. She wants the association of gopis. And she understand this association is so valuable, so extremely rare, that she is ready to even perform austerities for very, very long time. Not that she is ready, actually she did it. She performed the austerities for very long time just to get association of the gopis. That shows even the goddess of fortune, she is hankering for this fortune, to get the association of pure devotees such as gopis, so that they can hear about Krishna. There's so many pastimes just by hearing how people they develop. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री काय गौ सुंदर की जय, पतित पावन प्रभुपाद की जय. We see that how Brahman Patnis, they are simply assisting their Brahmana husband, who are very qualified Brahmanas. They were sitting at home. They did not have the opportunity to study the scriptures, Vedas. to learn about the sacrifice and all that. What they were doing is just giving some assistance to their qualified Brahmana patis, husbands, hmm, to perform the sacrifices. And in that connection, because being a householder, they had the opportunities where gopis carrying their butter and their buttermilk and all ghee and all cow products, milk, they will come for trading, and then they will knock the door, and these Brahman patnis will be eagerly awaiting for their arrival. This was the regular business. They will be coming to sell, and they had no business, gopis had no business other than talking about Krishna, because they were not able to stop themselves about thinking about Krishna. So what we are thinking actually, also we see that it comes to our top. So we're just always talking about Krishna. Krishna has performed this pastime, that pastime, this thing, that thing, always Krishna, 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 Krishna. All wonderful pastimes we're talking about. And all the Brahmana Patnis will be hearing. And just by hearing, and they got so much convinced, not only convinced, they developed so much hankering, deep hankering for Krishna, that their situation also became like gopis. They were also started seeking, when the opportune moment will come, we will be able to see Krishna, we'll be able to meet with Krishna, we'll be able to talk with him. Like this, they start having a deep hankering just by hearing from the gopis. They had developed such an advanced spiritual status that they were just constantly, very deeply, intensely feeling about this. And the proof is, and Krishna himself, actually he was motivated to come and give them this opportunity. And Lord Krishna himself took all his friends to place forest near to their residence. And then by arrangement of Krishna, all his friends became very hungry and thirsty. And they had planned that we have to go far distance, so they started earlier. And because they started earlier, they did not pack their lunch. Just like that, they left. Before the lunch packet was ready, they left. All of them, they left. We have to go far. So they all left without taking their lunch. And then when they reached there, they suddenly remembered lunch. Prasadam. Then they asking Krishna, you have actually killed so many demons. Please kill this demon of hunger. We want some prasad. Then Krishna is also thinking, and only Krishna has only actually came, brought them here. Then he's thinking, okay, don't worry, there are lots of nice prasadam waiting for you. There are brahmanas who have made so many varieties of prasadam is there. They are performing this sacrifice. You go and ask them. But don't take my name, because they are brahmanas and I am known as son of Nanda Maharaja, who is just a Vaishya. So you should not take my name. But if it is required, you can take name of Balaram, because at least he is Kshatriya. Krishna is just teaching some tactics to his friends, just how to get the nice preparations. Then these friends, they went, boldly they went, all very nice boys, very small boys, and they are very hungry. And very nicely, sweetly they went, and immediately seeing the Brahmanas, all of them, fell on ground and paid prostrated obeisances, Dandavat Pranam, and he started glorifying, calling them, oh gods of earth, like that, glorifying the Brahmanas. And they are glorifying him, and they are saying that we are sent by Krishna and Balaram. Very proudly they say, we are sent by Krishna and Balaram. And you must know that we have come up very distant from house, and we don't have any food with us, and we are very hungry. And they are convincing that this will be the right cause for you to distribute all the preparation, because it is asked by Krishna and Balaram. They are also very hungry. and they are standing nearby only. They have only sent us. So then by giving us food, your performing of sacrifices will not be disturbed, because they had the understanding of the scriptures. They're saying that before this sacrifice is started, you can distribute this food. If it is in the middle, you cannot distribute. But before it started, there is no objection. So you can give us something. These Brahmanas, they were hearing from this Gopas about Krishna, and then Krishna has sent them about food. And actually, it is mentioned that they did not, the Brahmanas, they did not say even yes or no. They just kept quiet. Just kept quiet. No, yes, no, no. And these boys, they were waiting. At least something will come, fall off. But nothing came. They were just got no response. And these boys, they were very hungry and they became very frustrated. And they just rushed towards Krishna. And then they started actually little criticizing Krishna. Why you sent us to them? Why you sent us to them? They did not give, that's okay, but they insulted us, but not responding. They did not say yes or they did not say no. Then Krishna actually, when he heard from them, Gopas complaining, he started laughing. Mentioned in Krishna book, he started laughing. So that this Brahmanas, they did not even say no. Then Krishna said, don't worry, okay. These Brahmanas are like this. Actually, they are not my devotees, so they don't know about this. But you go to their wives. These wives, they are very highly exalted devotees. You just tell Krishna and Balrama nearby. You will get everything you want. Then somehow this Krishna's friends were very hungry, Gopas. They thought that, okay, we'll go and ask this Brahman Patnis, and we will try, we may get something. They actually lost some hopes, but because Krishna has, gave them a hope that you will get something, they again went. And then they were all just sitting. All the Brahman Patnis were just sitting. And just they were sitting and their husbands were busy in performance on the other side. This Gopas, they just went and said, we are friends of Krishna. All their ears stood up. They become so attentive. And they said, Krishna and Balram hereby and is hungry. This was enough for them. And they were not able to hear anything else. It's just they heard Krishna and Balram are here and they are hungry. And they packed everything, whatever was prepared. Everything they packed. Quickly they packed. And they carried on their head. And they started rushing towards the spot where Krishna and Balaram is there. They just rushing. And some of the Brahmanas, they noticed, oh, where are they taking everything? And they tried to stop. But as one cannot stop the flow of river, they were not able to stop their wives. They could not stop their wives. It's mentioned that somehow or other, one wife they were able to catch hold, and she was not able to go. So she immediately, with such this deep hankering, intense desire to meet with Krishna, that she left her material body and with a spiritual body went there. Like how we see that gopis, to perform the Rasa Leela, they just rush towards that Vansivata, where Krishna is playing his flute in the middle of night. They all rushed there. In whatever situation they were, just simply rushed there. So like this, Brahman Patnis also developed the same kind of attitude. Just why this happened? In association of devotees. It's like if a person is diseased and we share his food, then we will also get the disease. So similarly, when we are hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee, when it goes to our ear, actually we are also infected with the same feeling. And the devotees of the Lord, they are really experiencing the highest happiness, true bliss. Hmm? And one also starts experiencing the same thing. Devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, they have actually, the situation is like this. They are pure devotees and therefore they are experiencing it. But the person who is just a neophyte, along with them in their association, also starts feeling the same thing. This is very important. The same experience he also starts having. He also starts feeling the same experience. This uh, After getting that experience, we can see the practical example in front of us, like how Prabhupada went into West and he was preaching, and they're all hippies, and he was preaching to them, and just by association of pure devotees, they very quickly, they were uh, quickly became devotees. They gave up all their bad habits. And they were chanting and dancing on street, and by seeing them, people were thinking, oh, why they are so happy. This is the pastimes of Guru Maharaj, that initial days when people were joining, Prabhupada did not had any money. It was not temple like this. And Western countries, there was no such concept that we go to some people and ask donations. So people were coming, all boys and girls were coming, and they were going for small jobs. They're working here and there, and whatever they earn, everything they will bring and give it to the give it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada will use that for different expenses, like paying the rent of the place, for groceries, for miscellaneous expenses. Prabhupada will manage. They'll go and work. Like this, Guru Maharaj also, all the young boys, girls, 18 years, 19 years old, and they have gave up their gave up the their father's place, and all their assets, everything they gave up, and they gave up their also studies. They're just dropping out, not studies, not interested in material studies. Uh, they earlier also, because of all addictions, they were dropping out, and then they got association with Prabhupada, so they joined him. So they were just getting small jobs. So Guru Maharaj he went and he worked as a waiter in some restaurant, and he will clean the table, clean the dishes, like that, and then at the end he gets some salary and come and give to Prabhupada, like this. So while doing this, he was so happy and always thinking about Krishna, and whatever Prabhupada has told, he was chanting all Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Very absorbed and very happy. He was while doing all the miscellaneous things, he was very absorbed and very happy. So in that restaurant, there was a regular customer. He will come and very frustrated, and he will have a pecs, and I was observing him. And then one point of time, he became very disturbed, and he asked, "Why are you so happy? You have nothing with you, but how you are so happy?" So their happiness, devotees, they are experiencing because of how get association of pure devotees, Prabhupada, and this way they are also experiencing the transcendental happiness. This is what is explained here, that here Prithu Maharaj is telling that I want millions of years. Is experiencing so much of bliss that he wants millions of years to hear from the pure devotees of the Lord. Millions of years. But the similar things is not happening to us. When we hear from Srila Prabhupada, his purports is a pure devotee of the Lord will go fall asleep. That is our situation. We immediately fall asleep. But here Prithu Maharaj, what is telling? I want to have my Lord. The Lord is there in front of him. He's telling that I want this benediction. I should have million of years to hear from the mouth of your pure devotees. You see, I'm not saying it is mentioned here. Twenty-fifth, 24th. Telling, my dear Lord, I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence, a benediction in which there is no existence of nectarian beverage of your lotus feet. I want the benediction of at least 1 million years, for thus I may be able to hear about the glories of your lotus feet from the mouths of your pure devotees. Why he is asking? Because he is experiencing so much of bliss. He's telling that, I want so much more. I wish to have so much more, but these 2 years are not able to hold everything. I want to have a million of years, so that from million directions I can hear, millions of pastimes I can hear simultaneously. He's saying, I want to have millions of years. Similarly, we see that Rupa Goswami is also praying that I want to have millions of tongues to chant your name, million of years to hear those names of yours. This saying like this because they are really experiencing the nectar which is there in the Lord's holy name, especially when it is coming from the heart of pure devotee. That is, the Lord is residing there in their heart. So they're captivating. So this is the actually real benedictions Prithu Maharaj is after. We just see that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also praying that I do not want to be born as a Brahma. I just happy to be born as a insect in the house of devotee. In the house of a devotee, I am happy to born as an insect, but I do not want to be born as a Brahma if I have no opportunity to hear. Bahirmukha Brahma Janma Nahi Askit Janma Ho Jatha Tuva Das. He's hankering for association of devotees. So association of devotees only actually we will relish the holy name. We can discuss about the holy name about this in the association of devotees. Otherwise, there is very less scope. Even if you start talking to some non-devotees about Krishna, they will immediately start talking to you about some cinema. They will happen. They will start talking about some other subject matters because they have no taste for that. They are having some low-class taste about discussing and hearing and talking about material subjects. But if you talk with devotees on material subjects, immediately they will switch to the Krishna's pastimes. So in the association of devotees, we have the opportunities to discuss and to hear about Krishna's pastimes. So he's praying that we should not give up, I should never give up the association of devotees. This is very, very important. There is one small pastimes of Prabhupada, with this we land. Prabhupada's disciples, they are discussing with Prabhupada and they are asking, initial days, they are calling Prabhupada Swamiji. Swamiji, we think that people who have not come to Krishna consciousness are most unfortunate. People who have come to Krishna consciousness are most fortunate. Prabhupada said, yes. Then immediately they were encouraged. Then they said, Swamiji, we think that people who have not come to Krishna consciousness are most unfortunate. And this time Prabhupada did not say anything. Then after some time Prabhupada said no. Then they were very much became inquisitive. Why this is earlier one was true, then this also should be true. Then they were wanted some explanation from Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada said, no, people who have come to Krishna consciousness, but due to some circumstances, they again went back from the Krishna consciousness. Actually, those people are most unfortunate. Not the earlier one who did not come to Krishna consciousness. They are unfortunate, but not most unfortunate. The most unfortunate people are who came and left. So this is the uh, after experiencing, after hearing these things, they just left. Why they left? This means and why people leave? Because somehow or other we have the still lower taste. So we just busy eating grass. We're not thinking that just by hearing the past times, developing Krishna consciousness, we'll go back to God. Ganta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Pansha Prabhupada ki jai.